Hey everybody, it's Amanda and it's time for the Q&A for Patreon for May. I wanted to start this month doing a little experiment about seeing if I can see any major events for the rest of May and June, just as practice for my yearly predictions videos, practicing remote viewing a little bit. And also, I guess I wanted to talk about something I did in one of my other videos. I think that I had said, and based on what I had seen or felt, that the coronavirus was going to be over by the end of March, beginning of April, I think is what I said. I don't remember. I have to go back and look. But doesn't seem to be what happened. So I was asking, one morning as soon as I woke up, I was like, hey, what about that? Why am I not ever able to see the bad things that come? Why do I feel like I'm always sort of reporting on the best possible case scenario? And they said immediately, because that's not your job. Your job is not to come in here and talk about all the bad things that happen. Your job is to come in here and talk about the best possible outcomes or the best possible timelines, because that is what we want to happen. We don't want the worst case scenarios. So, and it's funny because I want to know about all the scenarios, but apparently I have to rely on other people for that, because other people have different, jobs or whatever than I do. Also, I'm recording this both audio and video. I've had a lot of trouble uploading video. So I just, if I can't get it to go, I'll just submit the audio version of this for you guys. Okay, so while I was already thinking about end of May and throughout June, what kind of events we'll have, the first thing I saw was a mountain. Had a little bit of snow on it, clouds over, and I'm up above mountain level. And I felt like something dropped from the level where I am, viewing this. Something dropped, and it felt like metal. It was hard, cold. It had a rounded end. It may have two rounded ends, but at least something rounded about the end of it. And it dropped from, I don't know, I just felt it drop from where I am above this mountain looking. And I don't have a clear view of what it is that dropped or where it's dropping to. I mean, I guess it's dropping to the ground somewhere, but it's heavy. I don't really seem to have any more information on that. I kind of have an idea that I kind of have this visual that it's like some kind of bomb, but I don't have a visual on a plane or a craft. I just feel this heavy thing dropping out of the sky. So it could be I'm just assuming it's a bomb and it's not. It could be a helicopter that falls out of the sky, or a UFO. I have no idea. I was trying to see if I could. It seems like a smaller object, not like plane or helicopter size. And I can see these mountains. They're not very pointy, but there's a range of them. It's a mountain range, and I'm just near a taller part of it. Black rock. Let me see if I can get anything different, because that's not very exciting. Something falls out of the sky by a mountain. Okay. Next. Well, I'm feeling a happy event. I'm seeing what looks like flower petals or cherry blossoms or some kind of trees or dogwoods or something. Some kind of happy event like a marriage or. So I'm asking them, is this just for me or is this for everybody? Why would there be? I feel like it has something to do with a recovery, a person who was in the media who had some really horrible thing happen and they recovered or rebounded from that and it's a celebration of them. Some kind of event like a wedding or a not sure what. Yeah, I'm not getting a whole lot of specific, interesting information trying to check out the end of May, beginning of June. And if they're not going to give me any negative information, which there's probably a ton of, then I'm probably not going to get much. So, all right, I'm going to skip that experiment and move on to the questions for this month. Okay, how can we transcend the pain and suffering we cause ourselves when we're aware of and worried about the suffering of others, like animals, like when they're in pain and you feel it, um, it doesn't help for you to feel that. So is there a broader perspective that could help see this differently? Transcend the pain and suffering when worried about the suffering of others. Okay. So they're saying we're in a dimension that emphasizes this emotional aspect and this ability to um, be feel compassion towards other people or other beings, animals. When you've already felt bad things happen to you. So when you see it in others, you see others suffering, it hurts you too. And that's part of um, ascension and all of us being one. Because what hurts others hurts all of us because we're all one, essentially. We're all one energy, one consciousness, playing separate roles. But they're saying to remember that one being suffering serves many purposes for many other individuals. So it could be to point out something that you wouldn't assume was related, but it may trigger, seeing a puppy suffer, for example, may trigger a memory in someone that has feelings that they need to heal from childhood trauma or past lives, other dimensional lives. It could serve as a catalyst to bring memories from other places and times and trigger people to understand that they're not just of this one place and time. So when a being is suffering, we can understand it as a multi-faceted Um, it's a multifaceted way and a multi-level and layered way to sort of trigger or activate things in so many different people and on so many different levels. And that triggering ultimately, suffering ultimately leads us all to realize that we are more than we think we are just here in this one life. It does trigger the bigger picture and a bigger awareness. It pulls in aspects from places and times that had been forgotten, things that need healing, things that need integrated, and things that need to be realized so that we can all start agreeing and start understanding who we really are and what we're really here for. I hope that helped. Wondering about the Schumann resonance. It seems that when it spikes, I may have episodes of heavy hopelessness, as in wanting to leave the planet kind of feelings. But I've also read some people have very high vibe experiences when it spikes. Wondering if there's a way to sync to the higher vibe states. I like this question because I used to totally feel like when we had a whiteout of that, I felt so good. And then the last time I felt really bad, I checked and we had kind of a whiteout, only I felt the opposite. So let's see what they have to say about that. Okay, they're saying the Schumann resonance measures a type of energetic, but it doesn't give a good reading on other aspects of that type of energetic. So it would be like if lightning could be male or female and you could see lightning happening, but you have no idea by looking at it whether it's male or female. So the Schumann is measuring that something's happening, but it's not measuring what type of thing is happening. So I just realized I might have hit my mic there, sorry. So how do we discern whether it's good or bad? You don't. You just use it to your advantage either way. When you come out of the state of hopelessness, try to determine what things you were feeling hopeless about and ask yourself if these are aspects of yourself you need to heal. Take some time to think or write out your thoughts about that time, and if that had been designed, if that hopeless time and the hopeless feelings had been designed to serve you, start asking yourself, why, in what way could that have served me? What good could have I, or someone planned that? If someone planned that for me to serve me, or if I planned it to serve me in some way, why would I have done this? And brainstorm on that and journal on that. Or talking to a recorder about that until you discover what it is that has been trying to come through for you, that has been trying to be healed for you. They're saying you can try to tune in just of the higher feeling with intention only, to only feel the ones that are good, but good. Feel good. They're all good. but you will have these things come up for you in other ways if you don't. Now is the time to recognize all the parts of feelings inside you that keep you from understanding that you're you're the big shot. You're the amazing being here having this experience, and that's all there is to it, they say. And anything that comes up that doesn't agree with that is something that needs to be looked at and understood, so that you can just, it's like opening up a letter, reading it and going, oh, okay. And then you close it and you put it aside. I understand that. I don't need to look at that letter anymore. That's the same thing with these feelings that come up, these bad feelings. You say, why is this making me feel bad? Why am I having these bad feelings? What has this got to do with? And brainstorm. There are a million different like therapies out there that you can use, techniques that you can use to clear incorrect beliefs about yourself, so that you don't have that bad feeling come up anymore. They're there to serve us when they happen. And it seems like right now there's a lot of that happening for so many people, because we're meant to understand the beauty of our connection to each other and our wholeness as a group of beings, all being connected, to help each other and to love each other in spite of what we were taught growing up is the way things are, in spite of the opinions being different. I mean, they're just all learned behaviors, but ultimately we're all the same and we're all love, even if that love is acting like a stupid jerk and you want to strangle them. But really, they're all everything's us. So I got off on a tangent there. Is the game that the light and dark are playing happening on many levels or within many dimensions? And if yes, can you confirm if many of us are being light warriors in the astral realms while we sleep, especially gamers who seem to like to battle? They're saying maybe not light and dark per se, but a push and pull or a yin and yang is being played out in different degrees. Like some, yin and yang is balanced, but sometimes there may be like a lot less yin and a lot more yang, or they're kind of showing it to me like something rubbery that you can stretch. Like one might be stretched more than the other one, so it's not balanced. And this could translate into the feeling in this games where you like to battle or okay, and then also symbolically in the astral, this shifting of things back and forth, more dark, more light, that could be construed in the astral as battling. They're showing me there are other dimensions where this is it's like if we're in a video game, there's other levels of video games with like, aliens battling for control or to help or to save that, that back and forth thing. But they're showing it to me like a game, just like this earth life is a game. It's experiences. So yeah, there are other dimensional experiences that are like that. And we some of us have aspects existing in those experiences right now. So yeah, gamers could be drawn to that because that's something one of their aspects is doing somewhere else. How will things look for people with severe mental issues? For example, if it's a planned experience for growth, how will all that's going on affect people like this? So if you've planned an experience for growth, how does this whole new dimension of craziness add to that or change that? Does it? What's currently going on, everyone already knew was an option. So there's a couple of, well, there's many different possibilities, but they're depending on the person. You know, you come in for a purpose within an illness or a handicap, or you plan to get an illness or a handicap in this life to, again, it could be serving many different people in many different ways, because they're all going to react differently to your illness or handicap. So if you plan it knowing that this that's going on now is an option, then, well, they're saying ultimately it doesn't matter because you have infinite chances to do whatever you want to do. But, you know, I'm assuming it because it feels like you can plan for everything to work out with that in mind, you know, the illness or the handicap you came in with, and then this is different. Or you can merge the two to serve similar purposes. It could also be given as a way to accelerate an understanding before. I'm feeling a little like there's sort of like a cutoff, and they're reminding me of my hospital visit. And I don't remember if I talked about this, but that was a big fear cleansing thing for me. And I felt like it was urgent that I do it right then, which makes me think there's something coming that we need to purge stuff before it happens. But there shouldn't be any fear around that. I'm not sure what that thing is that's coming, because obviously I can't see it. So yeah, I guess it's either you've got two different things. You've got the pre-life plan you came in to do a certain thing, or you've got this added layer of, you know, this is a really big deal now, so let's deal with this issue that we came in to deal with, because it's huge now and we have to deal with it. So I feel like it's acting as a super acceleration catalyst, to get some things resolved. And again, I want to say before ... something happens. I don't know what. How are things going with the oppressed people of North Korea? Is the light emerging? I'm looking for anybody just listening to audio. Give me a sec. I'm just seeing it all. It's all empty. I'm seeing a woman Um, but I'm not sure she is. She wants to be strong enough to lead the country and get them out of the restrictive feeling they're in, but um, I'm not entirely sure. There are a lot of people around her pushing her, like not physically pushing, but I mean, like I feel their traditional go with the way things have been going sort of attitude, and their mental, their consciousnesses are pressing on hers, and she feels like she's about to cry. She's trying so hard to like be brave and stand strong, and she's just doesn't feel strong enough. But that's seems like it's not really decided yet. It's undecided. But I'm also not seeing that it's going to take, decades or anything to bring them into the. I mean, the people themselves, their consciousnesses are fine. It's just the the systems. Same here. The systems of government. They need restructuring, like ours do, like everyone's. But we have to learn to get along first. We have to purge the anger first, which is what we're working on now. Which anger is rooted in fear. So again, fear cleansing right now. Everyone's just got to get tired of arguing first and realize that you can't make any progress that way. You don't win anything. Nobody loses anything. You just don't accomplish anything. I do feel like a blanket of energy. Again, they're using the flower petals as a metaphor or analogy or something. I don't know, or a symbol. They're blanketing all of North Korea with these flower petals. I hear thunder. I don't know if you guys can hear that. I do. I feel a blanket of energy. Just it's very thin, but it's just laying down all over, everywhere. Just like a calming. Everyone's tired, and we just want to. It just calms us all down, so we can start rebuilding, is what it feels like. But it doesn't feel like something that's going to happen in May or June. And I'm not even sure that we'll notice that it's happening until we look back after an amount of time and see that it happened. A lot of people, I feel, can see energetically what's happening, but we've all got multiple layers of our existences here. And so we may not notice. Some may, but a lot may not notice. Most may not notice until things have changed and they're working well. And then we can look back and say, well, that was a good move on our part to try that. that was helpful. And then we can all start getting along. All right, I think I'm off topic again. Anyway, all right, that's all I've got for this time. Yeah, I hope everybody's doing okay and not going stir crazy. And yeah, I guess I'll see you again next month. Bye.